With the rise of fintech companies offering very high interest rates that are comparable to the central bank interest rates. Are they any good, or are we going to see the same thing happening to them like we did with free trade and trading 212, who gravely benefited from a specific time when the interest in investing was so high, and after the interest rates go down, will these fintech companies continue to make profit? So in this video, I'm going to go through an app that has really caught my attention called Chip, and the headlining thing is that they are offering an instant savings account that pays out an annual equivalent rate of 4.26%. So when I log into my Chip account, we can see that all these new fintech companies are really good at designing apps, so I can't fault them on that. Although if I'm really being picky, some of the color choices they have chosen here kind of don't really mesh together too well. But anyway, that's just nitpicking. You can see that on the top we have our total balance. So currently I have £3,371 here, and this is part of my emergency fund, which I've actually moved from Lightyear to here because they are paying 0.1% more interest. But most importantly, this company is FSCS protected. So that's the Financial Services Compensation Scheme protected, which in the UK protects accounts up to £85,000, and that is per account. So if you have one with Barclays, that's £85,000 for Barclays, and then £85,000 with Chip. So as you come to see, this is very new age with this new Snapchat carousel here, which actually gives you key information points very easily. So how to invest, and yep, and Paul will actually go through how it is to invest, and you have different stories where you can, if you're a beginner, kind of go into these stories and they'll give you a quick video running over what it means for each thing. So like how to save, the new interest rates, the biggest achievement, and things like that. So at a glance we can see these different cards that we have. So here they're advertising me an account that is a 90 days notice saving account with a 4.1% annual equivalent rate. However, I didn't opt to go for this because I've actually found something better. But you can see that you're advertised other savings accounts again, for example the 4.1% one, but also an easy access at 1.1%. and if you look carefully, these two are actually not provided by Chip, they're provided by another bank. So yeah, I would steer clear of that for now, but we'll come back to this one later because this is going to be the focus of this video. This app does have saving plans, so you can build a fully customizable saving plan allowing you to build wealth the way that you want it to. They do have an autosave feature just like Plum does, which uses artificial intelligence to kind of take away bits and bobs of your money without you actually realizing, and this adds up quite well throughout the month. However, unlike Plum, which is free, and you can check out my video on Plum here, this will charge a 45p fee every time it does that, and honestly I would never recommend something that costs 45p every time it does it. I am sorry, not sorry, but definitely do not opt for this because it will take out 45p every time you do it. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by Chip, so I can actually say whatever I want. Furthermore, they do have recurring saves, which sets up regular payments into your saving account and investment funds if you want to, and you can have 4 recurring saves. I'm not sure if they charge for this as well, or if they are planning to charge for this as well, so I would actually steer clear of that for now before finding out if they're going to charge for this feature. Furthermore, they do very much appify their whole experience of saving, so you can have goals and targets. You can have, for example, goals for savings, so you can go into next. For example, you can target £500, press next, and then out of the total amount of savings you can have, you can allocate a specific amount. So now I've created a goal of £500, and now you can actually use this as a way of reaching a specific target if that's what you're into. I know for me personally, that is not something that actually is going to help because I have my own goals set in a different way. But anyway, you can get rewarded, you can discover promotions and referrals here, so you can actually enter promotion codes and referrals for now. So currently I don't have a way of referring you to Chip, so that would have been nice. I could have left a link in the description down below and maybe we would have gained something each, but it doesn't seem to be working like that. And the one referral that I did see, you'd have to deposit £5,000 in order to get something like £10. So there won't be an affiliate link in the description down below, but I'll try to put a link to the website anyway. So for all intents and purposes, the instant access account is actually free. So this is the main attraction. This is what made me download Chip and made me want to discover this app more. I will go through the app and all the features so that you don't have to download it right now. But you can see that I have £3,371 invested in it, and you may have also noticed I've only had it for 2 days. So you can see on the 6th of July I put in around 3,065, and then I put another 300, and then I put another £6. The way that I'm going to be using this account is is, so every time I earn petty cash, for example, when I do some of these surveys from Prolific, I'll just put it into this. So my goal is to have just some extra cash, so if I need like something like a phone or a computer, I can just take it from this. If I put it into my chip account, it becomes separate from everything else and I don't have to ever worry about saving, and this will just save as a function of time. So currently they are paying an annual rate equivalent of 4.26%, which roughly works out to be around 38 pence a day, which is actually not too bad. So monthly, that's over £10 every single month, providing the interest rates does not drop. So as you can see here, it says I've earned £0 and my return to date pending is 77 pence. So it's nice to know that your interest is calculated daily. For example, if I now withdraw all this money here, I will still receive 77 pence because the interest was calculated daily. So one really good thing about Chip is that the withdrawals are near instant, so you can actually get withdrawals within the same day. So before this month, I had an account with Halifax for over 7 years, and I use the instant savings accounts there because I know it is instantaneous, because if I want to move money from my instant to my current account, it would be in a matter of seconds. However, this is not as instant because now you're relying on the communication between two separate banks. However, that being said, it is supposed to be near instantaneous, so within a few hours. So you're actually free to just take out your money whenever, and this is the biggest appeal for an instant savings account because I know I'm going to be taking money in and out all the time. So I'm also going to be using this account to put my monthly outgoings in. So the way I do my outgoings is I have a specific budget, which is very small, so it's something around £600. So I use a credit card and then I'll take however much I need from here into my current account to pay off my credit card. However, the possibilities are endless with an instant savings account, so you can honestly do almost exactly what you want to do. So in addition to their instant access savings account, which I really recommend at 4.26%, they also have a prize savings account. So this is akin to the premium bonds, which again I've talked about so many times this week because everyone is very interested into it. But essentially, here are the prizes. There's £2,010 prizes, £525 prizes, £150 prizes, £100 prizes, and £1 grand prize of £10,000. So every month, if you're holding entries in this account, Chip pays out £50,000 to its holders. So of course this is all based on luck and it's very similar to premium bonds. So most people will receive nothing, although compared to premium bonds, the chances of winning any of these prizes is considerably higher because there are a lot less people actually part of the entire prize draw. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend something like this, but I might just put in for fun the smallest amount you can and just leave it there to see if I ever win prizes. So stay subscribed because I'm sure I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on this app. I know I didn't do a follow-up video on Plum because I didn't tend to actually use Plum. This gives a much higher interest rate and it really gets me interested in putting my money into this app. So just like Plum, this app also has investing features, which personally I would stay away from because this is investing oversimplified in my opinion. But again, it's not free. You'll have to be a member of ChipX. They do offer a stocks and shares ISA, which could be really good for beginners, and this is more orientated towards beginners. So if you're very already hardcore into your trading 212 or free trade, you probably never want to look at this anyway. So if I press start investing, we can see the kind of funds that they do have. They have such thing called a cautious fund, which invests in lower risk assets from bonds, cash and property, and they give you a rough average annual rate of return. So for this fund is 0.82%, which is really low in my opinion, and you can see the price movement of this fund between the past X amount of years. These funds are provided by BlackRock, which is a huge player in the game of ETFs. iShares is actually owned by BlackRock. So yeah, BlackRock manages the most amount of money after Vanguard. So they're definitely a big player. One thing I don't like about this is that it has a projection of how much you could earn by depositing a certain amount. And I think this is very misleading because it says if you invest regularly £200 per month after 25 years, you could be having £66,000, which in this case, it does sound quite feasible. However, they do offer a S&P 500 tech fund, which is just the S&P 500 that you can get from iShares for a whole lot cheaper. But it says if you deposit £100 a month, you could have at the end of 25 years, $1 million, which is extremely unlikely that the S&P 500 is going to be giving you 21.2% annual average rate of return. I think this is highly misleading, especially if we deposit something like £1,000 a month, which is something that I try to deposit every month. There's no way at the end of 25 years it will be worth £11 million. So yeah, definitely these apps can be a bit misleading, and also the fee structures for investing in chip can be quite high. So for example, this fund has an expense ratio of 0.15%, and I know the S&P 500 doesn't need to cost that high, so there definitely is a premium from investing through something like chip. But at the same time, like I say, in finance, you're always paying for your risk and you're always paying for convenience. So this is more convenient than investing in something like free trade or trading 212 as a beginner, which it can be super overwhelming. These packages make it a lot easier to kind of understand the kind of risks that you might be taking. It does say the risk level is 6 out of 7, and it does tell you the kind of companies that these funds are invested into, for example, Apple, Microsoft, PayPal, MasterCard. So yeah, I mean, I'm not completely against the idea of using ChipX to invest. However, I think most people watching this video are more hardcore beginner investors, and they'll probably be looking at trading 212, which I must admit has a lot of popularity, but it really doesn't mean that it's going to stay a good platform forever. It is important to note that all these fintech companies, including Plum and Chip, have this feature where they link their bank accounts. And every 90 days, so every 3 months, you have to re-authenticate your bank account, which for security features is a plus. However, this might be annoying to some, having to keep doing that every 90 days. And you might receive emails saying that you need to re-authenticate your device. So make sure to check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in the next video.